Yes, here we are. It's Wednesday, and what you need to know is that means it's time for Rams Wednesday. Yes. Hello, everyone. Welcome into Rams Wednesday. Whether you're watching on the replay or you're watching with me live right now, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're doing well. Feel free to comment in the chat. I do my best to interact with you throughout the show. I kind of break it up into segments where I ramble a little bit, and then I come on in and I try to incorporate you into the show as much as I can. But thank you for tuning in to Rams Wednesday. There's lots to talk about with the Rams today, but I'm going to start the show off by giving some shout outs here. We got a boy and his dad. Thanks for being a mod and for being here today. Glad you're here. I see we got CMDR Carney. Good to see you. Horns up, Ramley and Ramelia. And hey, dude, it's good to see you. And again, love always a big Star Wars fan. Love the Boba Fett mask in your profile pic. That's really cool, man. You're working and lurking. That's awesome. We got Jax Gaming 77 coming in hot. Thanks for tuning on in, Jax. And we got Alex G. It's good to see you. Not much, man. I'm in a hotel room in Regina, Saskatchewan. If anyone knows where that is, just traveling for work, and thankful that I can talk some Rams football with all of you today. And we got yeah, it's a nice shirt. We got Sinjin in here. Good to see you, or one of our resident Seahawks fans. But thanks for tuning on in. I see Michael coming in hot. Thanks for being here, Michael. Always a pleasure. And we're going to talk about a lot. I got a lot of topics to talk through here. I want to hear your feedback. Again, I am no expert. Literally, I am a huge Rams fan. I'm a Canadian fan. I don't value my opinion any more than anyone else's. And I would love to hear from you. I love hearing perspectives that are unlike my own and challenge me. And I love the community being built here. I think we're at like just over 1,800 subscribers, almost at that 2K. So hopefully, maybe in this month we'll be here. But yeah, hey, Richard. Oh, I'm not far from you, Richard. You're in North Dakota. Oh, cool. Yeah. Normally I'm in Ontario, but this week I'm in Saskatchewan. Oh, that's cool. Well, everyone, feel free to keep commenting. I put a little star and I come back to the comments, and I try to get as many as I can. But I do have some things I gotta ramble about here. And there's so many things to talk about, and these are just things that I'm feeling towards the Rams. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. But the first topic that I want to talk about on Rams Wednesday this week is the Rams do not make a trade at the trade deadline. Yes, there were a lot of expectations within the Rams fandom, and we have been spoiled in recent years for the Rams making big trades at the deadline. Tons of other teams made big trades at the deadline this year and kind of copied the Rams from previous years, but not the Rams. We from all reports that we've heard, it sounds like Les Snead and company were trying to make a deal. And we heard different, about Chubb. We heard about Burns. We heard about Kareem Hunt. And I'm sure there's lots of other speculations. I remember hearing about like Josh Jacobs maybe that was something the Rams could get in on, but it didn't ultimately happen. And c'est la vie. You have to move on, as they say. And I will just bring up this brief community post here. I just took a screenshot. Yesterday, I posted, and thank you everyone who votes on my polls. I love doing random polls on my community tab, and it always amazes me that people vote. But yeah, so I'll bring this up here. We had 95 votes on this here, and let me get that down. The question was thoughts on the Rams not doing anything at the trade deadline, and it had 95 votes. 46% said I wish they would have made a move. 27% said I am glad they kept their picks. 24% I am indifferent either way. And then I of course, some people went in the comments, and I would encourage you, if you're looking for some good hot takes, go to that community post and read those comments. They're great. Thank you everyone who voted on that. But I'm of the mindset of, I really wanted a trade to happen. I really did. I wanted a running back. I wanted maybe O-line help, even though that's hard to get in, in season trade market. I wanted help on the edge, rushing the passer. And I just, as a Rams fan, I guess I had been conditioned of like, oh man, Les is cooking up a deal and we're gonna come. And honestly, like I was working an event yesterday, so I didn't have access to the internet for a large chunk of the day. And I remember thinking like, oh, I'm gonna come home from work, I'm gonna get internet access, and my phone's gonna blow up with all this trade information about the Rams and things like that, and people analyzing it. And then that didn't happen. I got tons of other texts and notifications about other teams doing stuff, but nothing about the Rams. And it was just sort of this letdown, this like, oh man, like I really wanted to do something. So then I like put on, my little fandom hat that I don't have, my imaginary hat. And I just thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Clearly the Rams made some offers that just didn't get accepted. And, that's just something you have to accept, that they tried, and it didn't work out. So now we got to ride with what we got. And in a little bit, I'm going to talk about Cam Akers, but I definitely was disappointed at first, but it is something I'm going to quickly move on from. Of the reality is, it's actually kind of normal for an NFL team to not make big flashy moves in the regular season. That's just sort of become a norm as of recently, and the Rams have definitely done it in recent years more than other teams. But that's just sort of the cards that you're dealt, right? I'm still going to cheer for this team, and it was definitely an expectation. And because because we're human, whenever those expectations aren't met, we all ultimately go like, "Oh man, I'm sad because my expectation didn't get met." But I think I've seen some Ram fans that are definitely more distraughted than I am about this, but because of the Rams issues, I don't know if a trade really was going to fix everything that we have going wrong right now. So my kind of, I guess my summary of my take is, I was hoping for a trade. I was disappointed when there was no trade that happened. I was low-key hoping for 2 trades that didn't happen. But I'm quickly able to move on from it and still celebrate the Rams. I'm still going to cheer them on each and every Sunday. And I hope that if you're a Rams fan, you would join me in doing that as well. But let me know in your comments, what are you disappointed? Do you wish the Rams would have made a trade? And I'd love to hear from you. All right, let's get back to the comments here. And I want to hear from you. Let's see. Yeah. Hey, Michael. No, North Dakota. Okay, here I am. Yeah. Buena's dad. I'm wearing my Super Bowl champion shirt. That's awesome. Yeah. Rep that. Rep that. Yeah. No one, regardless what happens this season, no one can take away our Super Bowl victory last season. Absolutely, Buena's dad. FYI, Commander, CMDR equals Commander didn't serve. Just call me Carney, please. Easier. Okay, Carney, thank you. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, Carney. I love it when people make. I always try my best to read names as they are, but yeah, I'm happy to call you Carney. The trade deadline for the Rams is a bit of meh. Meh. Yeah, that's the best way of putting it. But Michael points out the silver lining for this one is that we saved some draft capital. Yep. And we're probably going to need them. Yep. Richard, the Niners spanked us again, and they got McCaffrey, and now maybe Odell. That would be poopy. Yeah, Richard, I hear you. Definitely, I hated losing to the Niners. I really did, and it's just one of those things that we have to accept it happened and moved on and hope that we get them next time. I'll still always treasure that we beat them in the playoffs and the NFC Championship game because that would have hurt a lot more. But yeah, it stinks they beat it. They swept us this year for sure. Next says, hey, how's it going? Good to see you, my friend. WAP 305. Who do you think who is going to win the Rams and Bucks game? I'll talk about that a little bit. I'm going to do a bit of a preview, but I do think that both the Rams and the Bucks are two teams desperate for a win and are struggling. The Rams have had the Bucks number the past number of years, so that does lead me to believe that I think the Rams will win. I think both teams have issues, so it could go either way, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm picking the Rams to win, and let's hope that we can take Tom Brady. Make him because we've beaten him 3 times since he's been with Tampa. He's never beaten us. So yeah. Grandizer, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm doing A-okay, but Grandizer, good to see you, man. I am tired for sure and jet lag beyond belief, but that's cool. Yeah. You're not wearing a shirt. That's funny. It would be really funny that the Niners swept the Rams, but then eventually missed the playoffs and the Rams. That, Michael, that would just be the craziest thing. And you know what? Maybe that happens. Right? Because the Niners definitely have have been known to have kind of a Jimmy G led fallout or something like that. But they're a banged up team, and however for whatever reason they play super good against the Rams, and other teams he makes tons of crazy mistakes. So yeah. Yeah, thank you, Boyne's dad, for reminding people to subscribe. Appreciate that. Ram season's over. My Rams, I think they need better defense and all that. Daniel, it's I hear you. Tired of losing. Yeah, Daniel, no one wants it for sure. But I think the reality is, and I know some fans, they check out when a team is kind of down, and you're allowed to do that. You're free, free will. I'll be honest. Even if the Rams lost every game, I would still watch every game. They're my team, and I enjoy that. But yeah, I definitely, winning is a lot more fun. That's for sure. But when you have those winning seasons, it definitely makes you appreciate them a lot more for sure. But yeah, I see you said down here you still watch, but just time. Yeah, I hear you, Daniel, and hopefully we get a win against the Bucks. Hopefully, yeah. Grandizer, at least the Rams tried to make a trade or so. The asking price, yeah, and it could be that like the asking price was just too much for the Rams, and the Rams just felt it wasn't in the best interest of their team long term. Because for some of the players, like if you're trying to trade for Brian Burns from Carolina, you don't want that to just be like a 1-year rental sort of thing. You want it to be, okay, we're trading for proven talent, and we'll sign them to a long-term deal. They need O-line, the defense. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that. I really think the more and more we think about it, the offense is the problem, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Hello, Niners all day. Good to see you, my friend. Carney is saying, I'm okay with no trades. I believe this team will be successful regardless. Yeah, you still, and it's, I guess, now a matter of like, what does success look like? Is it Super Bowl or bust? Is it playoffs? I don't know. And I think for different Ram fans, there's different, opinions about that. But yeah, I see we got Niners all day in here. Good to see you, man. Thanks for tuning on in. Yeah, we want to sign Odell. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get signed until November at some point. Because I don't think he's going to be playing till early December at this point now, but we'll see. All right. Well, I have my next little segment here that we're going to talk about here. And guys, I'm gonna get a little angry. Angry with a smile because football is about having fun, and we're blessed that we live in a time where we can come on the internet and just talk about football. And I love that I can be so passionate about this, but this ticks me off so much. The 32nd ranked run game, the Rams are ranked 32nd in the league in rushing. And I kind of knew, no, I knew our run game was bad. And it's not a secret. Anyone out there can know, but lineups.com is a great website here. And according to them here, the Rams are ranked 32nd in rushing yards. They only have 479 on the year. They're ranked dead last, 32nd in rushing attempts. And they're ranked 20th in rushing touchdowns. So, okay, that's still not good, but at least it's not 32nd. And it goes back to their total offense. They're ranked 30th in total yards, only having 2,082 yards on the season. And I know we talk about this, but something's gotta give with this run game. Something. I mean, it flabbergasts me that we and looking back in retrospect, the Rams struggled to run the ball at times last year, but with Sony Michel, with Darrell Henderson last year, we were able to be serviceable. And even in the month of December, it was a surprise. Sony Michel led the league in rushing last year for in a 4-week span. But this season, I feel like every time I see Stafford hand off the ball, I immediately see our running backs get tackled right away. Like it seems like celebrating a 4-yard carry is a big deal for the Rams right now. And it's so frustrating because you believe your team can do better than this. And when you have that bad of a run game and your team becomes more one-dimensional than a Super Mario game on the NES, I just get so ticked off with it, right? And at some point you're like, okay, do you just give up on the run in the first quarter and just sling it to Cup and company all day? I don't know. And you look at the 2 games where the Rams did have a decent run game. It was against the Cardinals in week 3 and against the Carolina Panthers back in week 6. And I just can't put it together because I really do think Darrell Henderson's a good running back. But and Jake Ellenbogen did a great job of talking about this, about why is McVay not using him as the featured back? And if it's a commitment to a backfield by committee, okay. But we gotta something is clearly not working. And even that game against the Panthers, that was our best rushing performance of the year. That was the game that anyone who watched me, I thought it was the craziest thing. 7 different players had a handoff that game. So I don't know if we have to just pray and hope that Kyren Williams, when he comes back, is everything that the Rams are hoping for to save this run game. Because as a franchise who has had a pretty storied, pass at the position of running back, it's tough to watch. And I know there's the Cam Akers drama, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit next. But I don't understand, why we can't be even serviceable. When let me just check this stat out. If you go to our where did I just had it here? Sorry, folks, I lost my train of thought for a second. Oh, that happens to me all the time. Yeah, we only have 6 rushing touchdowns on the year, right? And it blows my mind that this team has, I know because we struggle in the run game, that leads to struggle in the passing game. And normally, in McVay's style of offense, if you have a efficient run game and can utilize play action well, your play action, your jet sweeps, your smoke and mirrors tactics, like everything that goes into that will do better. And it's extremely frustrating, extremely frustrating. So I'm hoping the Rams can get it together. I'm hoping that we can, maybe we still finish in kind of the bottom, 10 in run game overall for the season, but I would love us to, number one, not be ranked the worst run game in the NFL, but number two, I just want a serviceable run game so that we can actually see our skill position players play up to their potential. This is a very talented team that honestly is not right now. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Uh, maybe Ronnie Rivers continues to develop. But right now, like, our hope is in Ronnie Rivers' development, McVay utilizing Hendo more, or Kyren Williams being, a really great running back as a rookie. So that's kind of all that I have to say about it. But it's very frustrating. Let me hear from you. All right, here. Okay, go into your comments here. Let's see here. Okay. Yeah, found it. Okay. Pale, take the Packers. It was said they tried to trade for Jerry Jeudy, and they choose not to make a trade. Meanwhile, the other teams made trade, and they're yeah. Oh, I'm in a hotel room, Grandizer. I can't break the windows here. I don't get my security deposit back. All I see at the NFC West in nutshell, the alleged powerhouse division led by the alleged tank Seahawks. Yeah, Michael, we live in a weird world for sure. Yeah. No, it's the worst. We tried to run the ball, but the O line still stinks for the Rams, and that's what I'm saying. It's so frustrating when you're like, oh no, Stafford's gonna hand it off. Like maybe we gain a yard, right? Like it's so frustrating. Yeah. I don't, not off the top of my head. I don't have a ton, so I appreciate all my mods. I know Grandizer is one. Yeah. Um, I'm glad you find it funny, Mop. Um, I wish the Rams would have traded Akers. Why keep him? Seriously, next year's draft is deeper. Yeah, Grandizer, it's so weird. I'm going to talk about that next. I have an article I want to read about that. What you just said about when Stafford, yeah, it's so frustrating. It's so funny. Yeah, and apparently they got they got a they got some offers for Cam, but they turned him down apparently. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, we're hey Demetrius 96. We're hoping he signs soon. Yeah. Get those bots out of here. Yeah. Because maybe the Rams O line is better pass blocking as opposed to run blocking. Yeah, we'll see. No, the the bots love to sponsor Payo. If you need to find love, they got it for you. Yeah, it's I don't know why the bots they seem to be tacking in full swing. Yeah, no, you're right. Especially in the first quarter against that Niners game. That's a great take there, Niners. He definitely we had a functional screen game going that we kind of had to use as our run game. Yeah, he's definitely not the same. Yeah. Peo, you have to look at your starting O line, break each one down. If you got a bunch of low picks blocking, sometimes you get what you pay for. Yeah. I don't know if I fully there's definitely merit to that, but I do believe you can develop offensive line talent. And we've seen, linemen drafted in later rounds develop into good tackles and guards and centers. But we've vice versa. We've seen first round draft picks just doom and gloom. And I think back to like all the high draft capital the Rams have put in O line, Jason Smith, for those of you who remember him, that was so infuriating. And yeah, there's just so many times that the Rams in their history, put in like a top 5 pick on O-line and it didn't work out, right? And so I I I don't know. I still stand by the if you have O-line that has the potential and the coaching and culture to coach it up, that's how to get the best way to get a good O-line and to stay healthy. Aaron, hello, how's it going? San Francisco is my home. Okay, cool, man. I hope you have a good time there. Next game I'll count how many. Okay, cool. Thanks, boys. Then. Yeah. Let's see. The Finns had the worst O line under Flores. A lot of Finn fans said the same. The say things you said. How come these guys can't block? Look at where they were drafted. They were all bad, and I'm sure there's something to that for sure. I don't know. I've like this year notwithstanding, the Rams have had a lot of success drafting O-line in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th round. But yeah, just now this year we've had, in 7 games, we've had 7 different combinations of linemen, right? So that lack of consistency would be another, fair criticism of the Rams line. I don't know if Cam was still haunted by all the fumbles from last season or if he's just contented that he got a Super Bowl ring. Yeah, I don't know. It's frustrating, Michael, for sure. Yeah, it's really sad what the kind of the decline we've seen with Cam. Eric Dickerson said he sees our running backs are getting hit in the backfield because the O-line changes. Yeah, and again, I do think that getting Brian Allen back and Sheriff Showbags on Rams Showcase last week had a really good point about how just having your starting center back really helps with that pre-snap communication. And so hopefully this O-line that we're getting, it seems like we're pretty healthy from last game. And so we might actually, for the first time this year in back-to-back games, have the same starting 5 out there. And hopefully that helps. Yeah. Yeah. Agree. You can develop lower picks, but as you're starting O-line low picks and young, so they need time to develop. Yeah. And like, again, we've had just so many injuries, right? Yeah. So right now, you know what? Just to double check, because in case something changed, I haven't checked today here. So let's go to the Rams depth chart. That's a great question, Grandizer. So right now, we're going to ourlads.com because I love checking this out. And so yeah, okay. So right now we have Jackson at left tackle, we have Evans at left guard, Allen at center, Aboski at right guard, and Haven Stance at right tackle. So yeah, so we should have for the first time this year the same starting 5 in back-to-back games. So hopefully we see some improvement there for sure. Oh, Higbee dropping that pass, turn the tide. Yeah, that would have been a big thing. And yeah, Aaron, sorry, man. I am just gonna skip your comment because that's not what I'm talking about. So you can do your thing, man. But and blessings on you for it. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I that's not something I care to talk about. But yeah, Higbee dropping that pass, that would have turned the tide of the game. Yeah. But it's dangerous playing, what could have been, right? What we got? Let's see here. Oh, hey Dom C, good to see you. Question: when can Ram fans expect to see Kyren Williams? What kind of impact do you expect from him? So we're still waiting on a timeline for him. I'm pretty sure the earliest we might see him is week 10. But yeah, we still haven't really received word of when he's exactly going to play. And yeah, it's a great question. He's such a mystery right now for the Rams. He's probably the biggest mystery on the Rams right now. Yeah, I'm just, I'm a big I'm hoping that Kyron Williams comes in and lights up the league. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure what to expect from him. We do know that he didn't play much in preseason, which normally means that the Rams have a plan for you. So he definitely had a role in this Rams team, but then got injured week 1. So yeah, we'll see. Just a question: do you allow spam in the chat? Like I don't know. Like I I don't like. I'm not someone that's like oh my chat, my rules, that sort of thing. But like I always care about people being respectful. That's my biggest thing, right? Yeah. So I appreciate that boy and his dad. But yeah, no, like if like I'll say that like if Aaron wants to come in here, Aaron man, welcome. And yeah, like I don't have it. If like if his comment about a real team in the Super Bowl, that to me, I don't talk that way. I'm not like about that life. Just because I think the Bengals were a good team last year. They earned their spot in the Super Bowl, and I don't know. No one's ever gonna taint the Rams Super Bowl for me. I'm proud of it. I'm happy with it. He's allowed his opinion, and I can happy about that. But yeah, no, I wouldn't consider Aaron's judge's comments spam at all. Point instead. But yeah, no, man, as long as everything's respectful. Yeah. And Grandizer, I will never ask for super chat. I always appreciate them, but no, I never ask for them. Gil, hello. It says, hey, Pale, remember the Rams have 10 games to go. Yes, they do. 10 important games. That's for sure. And let's see, Michael saying the next game against Tampa is going to be interesting. 2 battered O-lines putting up against each other. Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. Let's see. Awesome Jets content creator. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Often writes. Oh, I didn't know he writes. I've seen his stuff. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Allowed. Oh, too funny. Well, I'm going to take a quick swig of water here. Cheers to anyone out there, whatever it is you're drinking. And I have my next little segment here we're going to talk about. And I have an article here I want to read it. So we're going to talk about Cam Akers here. We are going to talk about Cam Akers. So quick summary. They had their weird, awkward drama, personal issue that involved him getting benched. We don't know that much about it because the Rams are a professional organization that knows how to manage, player conflict and a good PR team in terms of, stuff that happens in the locker room. But then there seemed to be this disconnect that okay, the Rams are actively shopping him. He's going to be traded. And if he's not getting traded, then they're going to cut him. And I was at a point where if the Rams don't trade him, he's going to get cut on Tuesday. And I thought he was going to get cut, but then he didn't. And let's read this article here from the Rams Wire because it does help provide a little bit of context here. So interesting thing. So Rams Wire, our main man Cameron DeSilva coming in hot with a great. So Rams decline multiple offers for Cam Akers, want him to play for them again. So I read that and I was like, okay. He said the Rams attempted to trade Cam Akers for 2 weeks, but were unable to make a deal before Tuesday's deadline. It wasn't that no one was interested. However, the Rams just didn't get a good enough offer for them to give up the former second-round pick. According to Tom Parcello of the NFL Network, the Rams turned down multiple offers for Akers. They're working with his agent now in hopes that Akers will play for them again this season. And then Akers, on the other hand, is hoping for a fair resolution to the situation after the Rams opted not to trade him before the deadline. He doesn't believe playing for the team again this season is in his best interest, suggesting he wants to move on and get a fresh start. Throughout the entire process, Sean McVay has said he wouldn't rule out Akers returning and playing for the Rams again, but the two sides appear to be don't appear to be seen eye to eye. That's the end of the article there by Cameron De Silva. And yeah, so again, a bit of a head scratcher, uh, you know, where it seemed like Cam Akers was, for sure at least getting cut, but the Rams decided, no, like we're not cutting you. We believe we can work this out. We can, we can reconcile. And I'm a big believer in forgiveness and, reconciliation, but I don't know if it's going to happen there. From what I've seen of Cam Akers, he's kind of an emotional guy, from what he posts on Twitter. And yeah, I don't know if Cam wants to play for the Rams again, because of whatever it is that happened as a personal issue. But one other article that happened, with Sean McVay and company here is, also on the Rams wire, says Sean McVay, and this is in his press conference today, is very encouraged by talks with Cam Akers. Running back could practice this week. So this is kind of like a new development again with Cameron De Silva. It says, I won't read the whole thing, but Cam Akers hasn't played with the Rams the last 2 games as the team tried to trade him before Tuesday's deadline. After being unable to move the disgruntled running back, his future in Los Angeles remains uncertain. Sean McVay provided kind of somewhat of an update, saying he's been very encouraged with the dialogue he's had with Akers and his agent. And I can't mention his agent's name because I'm really bad at that. McVay and Akers also spoke Wednesday morning and had a good conversation where the running back told McVay he wants to be part of the Rams. So again, it's that development here. And so with the Cam situation, we talked about a couple of different options. He said, want to give him an opportunity to weigh that with his family and with his representation. And then we'll circle back later this afternoon and see what the next move is. Whether that's continuing to move forward with the Rams or if you explore giving him the opportunity to be able to see what it looks like with another team. The first option is let's try to exhaust all measures as it relates to the Rams. And if we're all kind of in alignment with what we think is the best way to move forward, we'd like to be able to do that. If not, then out of respect for both parties, we'll make that decision afterwards. So again, and kind of the article goes on to talk about how this doesn't mean for sure Akers is coming back, but it at least points us in a direction that that's maybe going to happen. But I will say this seems like it's being handled professionally. We don't see Cam Akers bashing the Rams on social media. We don't see any of the Rams locker rooms speaking out against Cam or anything like that. And so I'm hoping that's a positive development. Now then the question is, Cam Akers really wasn't playing that well. And so you can make the argument that him getting benched was kind of warranted. And I feel like a lot of Ram fans would be okay if Cam Akers never took a snap for the Rams again. But again, if this is what the coaching staff and the front office of the Rams feel is best for the Rams, I hope it works. Right? And so anyway, that's all I have to say about the Cam Akers situation. Clearly there seems to be some sort of opportunity for reconciliation. Hopefully it works out in terms of a professional manner. But then the question is, if Cam is back, what does that look like, right? Are we going to get Cam who just kind of struggled to run into his own lineman, or he when there was a hole there, he struggled to find it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I personally from the human side of it, I'm excited about there might be some reconciliation and no bad blood. But from the football side of it, I'd kind of be okay if we didn't use Cam Akers. I mean, we're already the worst run game in the NFL, as we said in a previous segment. So anyway, that's my take. Let me know yours. All right. I found here. Yeah, so Richard, it's an AFC championship year. I see Aqua Color winning the Super Bowl. Everyone thinks the Bills, but watch out for the Dolphins. Tua and Tyreek, TNT. They will sneak on. Oh, Richard, a bold take there. I love to hear Grandizer's take on that because he's a resident Dolphins fan. Peo, it's crazy to the Lions fans. They love the Rams, but they do hope the Rams lose out to that 2023 first round draft pick. Will be yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they got the 32nd pick from us last year, and depending how the Rams do, they're gonna get another pick from us that's looking kind of high right now. See, that's what I said. Should have traded Akers. Pale, I didn't get a chance to write you, but I would have offered a 2023 fifth or Miles Gaskin and Chase Edmonds, and I would have been okay with either of those. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Ricardo, good to see you, my friend. Thanks for stopping by, being here. Mulihata, it's a Canadian. Oh, is it? I don't know. Cool. It's got to be Cam wants more touching. Maybe Steven. Maybe. Yep. Boys, that I just found my old Steven Jackson football card. I forgot I own football card. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I encourage you to always treasure stuff like that. I don't have too many football cards. I know someone gifted me, my brother. He gifted me an Aaron Donald football card that was really cool. So I don't have that in this hotel room, but back in my apartment, that's one of my things. Yep. After Akers got hurt, honestly, he was never the same. He didn't want to get hurt. His rookie year, he was a beast. Super Bowl run year A, he was hesitant. Yeah, and we saw some decline for sure. And I think in the playoffs last year, there were moments he did play good football, but there were other moments where you're like, is he fully healthy? And then the hope was, after the Super Bowl that he would be fully recovered and ready to go. And for all intents and purposes, it does seem like he is healthy physically, but he perhaps has lost a step from a torn Achilles. Yeah, Granddad's cheering on his Dolphins, going waddle baby, waddle baby, waddle baby. Yeah, yeah. Hey, tribe. Yeah, everyone has a story. Yeah, and I'm honored to, get to be a minor character in all of your stories. To anyone who watches this channel. Yeah. Peo, I really, really dislike the Finns trade for Jeff Wilson Jr. I asked about him again. Why didn't they trade for Akers? You gotta I guess the obvious answer is like the Niners connection, with McDaniels being their previous OC. That's why they would opt for Jeff Wilson Jr. And I don't know. I have to be honest. As a football player, I have a lot of I have a lot of respect for Jeff Wilson Jr. I think the Niners might regret trading him if CMC were to go down to injury. That might be something they regret. But yeah, it's definitely something to keep an eye on. And I think I can now cheer for Jeff Wilson Jr. that he's on the Dolphins. Hey, Finesse Foreign, good to see you in that cat profile picture. Yeah, the Akers thing is sad. I thought he would be our dude for a while. Yeah, no, it sucks when stuff like that goes down, right? But the story's not over yet, as Tribe was saying. We'll continue to monitor the situation, and yeah, I appreciate how it's being handled, right? Because it does sound like it's a difficult situation, but it sounds like it's being handled in a professional manner and even a personable manner to an extent. So that's not something you see every day from NFL teams. All right. Well, we got to talk about this next segment. And guys, it's not a fun one, but I got to talk about it because this pains me to talk about. We got to talk about the Rams playoffs hopes is on life support. Yes. Currently right now, we are the 9th seed with our loss to the Niners. we have a game coming up against Tampa, against Arizona, against New Orleans, then Kansas City, Seattle. But we'll talk about that. But again, these next 3 games are so important because right now we are 3-3. Our 3 wins have come against. We're 3-4, but we're 3-3 in our conference games. And one of those losses is to Dallas. And you know what? Here, let me bring up the playoff tree here to help make my point here before I start rambling on too much. Just because there is urgency for the Rams here. And I know this might sound crazy, but like if you want any hope at a title defense, you got to win some games. Hot take. Let me just make sure you guys can see that. Okay. Yes. Okay. So the Rams playoff hopes are on life support here. If you look at, we're looking at the NFC here. So if you look here, you have your division leaders, but then for the wild card, you have the Cowboys, the Giants, who are both 6-2, and the Rams lost to the Giants or to the Cowboys. And then because the 49ers are in the 7th seed now, if we tie records with the 49ers, they would get in ahead of us. So unfortunately, we're in a situation, we're down here, we're the 9th seed, where we do need other teams ahead of us to lose. Now, I'm confident the Washington Commanders can lose. I can see it happening. The Niners, they play really good against the Rams, but we'll see how good they do against some of their other opponents. The Giants and the Cowboys, I think they're going to be there in the dance. So you're really hoping that one of these wild card teams can fall out. I don't want to totally write off the division, but respectfully so, that the Seahawks are kind of the front runners for it right now. But in our current state, we just have to worry about making the wild card. Now, if the Buccaneers beat us this week, that's a big loss. So that's kind of these next 3 games there are huge must-win games, because if we win them, we'll be 6-4, but also that would mean we have 6 conference wins. And the reality is we only have, like, if I'm looking at the schedule here, the only NFC conference games we have left are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Cardinals, the Saints, the Seahawks twice, and Green Bay. And then the rest of our games that we play in those 10 games are against the AFC West. We're playing the Broncos, the Chargers, the Raiders, and the Chiefs. So really, like, it is desperation time. The season is on life support. Now, that's the fun part about football, is that even when you're on your season's on life support, something can kick in. Other teams losing can impact the playoff tree. But the reality is, if the Rams want any hope of making the playoffs, we got to win some games. And we can't just keep winning one, losing one, winning one, losing one. We need a winning streak. And so I'm really hoping these next 3 games, the Rams can try and save this season by beating the Buccaneers, which I think is doable. We need to sweep the Cardinals, which is, I believe, doable. And I think we can beat New Orleans. We do have to go to New Orleans on the road, so that's never an easy outing. But they seem to have some drama of their own going on. But I'm telling you, if the Rams are going to make the playoffs, these next 3 games are so important. Because if we drop even 1 or 2 of them, I think it sets us back in the wild card standings a significant amount in this NFC, just the way that it's playing out. So let me know in your comments what you think about the playoff race. it's something I enjoy as a football fan tracking, always seeing like, okay, like is my team in the playoffs if it were to end today, or is it, are we too far out? Are we starting to think about draft picks next year? And I'm not there yet. I'm still hoping the Rams make the playoffs, still cheering them on. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right, getting back to your comments here. Thank you for that friendly reminder to like and subscribe. Grandizer, here we go. Yep. We expected Akers to really find his groove last year, which, as you know, I love the pick. Yeah, no, you've been a Cam Akers fan for a long time. He didn't quite have the mileage from college and a physical runner. Yeah. Worst Achilles injury in the history of NFL. Akers should have been fine months ago. Beyond said, and yeah, it's just then the question comes up. Well, did they rush him back too much? Like they called his healing a miracle that he could play again in a short amount of time. And yeah, it's definitely something to consider for sure. Yes, thank you, Carney. Yes, rest in peace, John McVay. Condolences to the McVay family. Absolutely, that's Sean McVay's grandpa that helped the 49ers get their dynasty in the 90s, and yeah, just a legendary person in the NFL world for sure. Yeah. No worries. Oh man. Thank God Carolina turned us down for Burns trade. 2 firsts would have been insane. I like him, but he's not that good. And again, like I guess I'm of the mindset of like if a trade like that happened, I can get excited about it. But like I'm kind of glad that we didn't do it. But yeah. If I was Sean McVay, I'm spending all of our picks on O-line next year. Some say pass rush, but our defense is more than competent. Yes. And I don't think there's any reason you can't address both, right? Yeah. I think in this stream it's just you and Grant Eisenberg. Yeah. We just need to string up some divisional wins too from the Cardinals and the Seahawks. Yeah, absolutely. Like, Michael, if we could somehow sweep both the Cardinals and the Seahawks, putting us at 4-2 in the division, well, that would be like, okay, you're competing for the division again. So I hope, Michael. Yes, I got to see more of the 49ers to see if they're real. They obviously got the Rams number, but they will dip versus lesser opponents. That would be super upsetting. Yeah, and again, like they've had like they lost to the Bears, they lost to the Falcons. We don't know what we're gonna get with this. Yeah. Will the Rams get back other players off injury list this week as the playoffs are getting closer? The one we're watching is Kyren Williams. That's a great question. Grant doesn't love these in-depth questions that challenge me to be a better fan. I'm checking to just look at the official injury report here. Okay, let's see. Not seeing anything that would lead me. No, not notable. I guess the one other thing is Cooper Kupp's injury is considered day to day. That would be the one like thing we're monitoring. And personally, I'm like okay with Cooper Kupp. Like let him take some time off if you need to, and like hope others step up. But yeah, this is a surprisingly clean injury report. Yeah, the only one is Kyren Williams. He may be activated ahead of Sunday's game at Tampa. Actually, Jordan Rodriguez reporting from the Athletic. So that would be the only other one, Grandizer. Yep. The better defense will make the difference in this game against Tampa Bay. Tom Brady wants a win big time. Yeah. No, and there's a lot of stuff going on in Tom Brady's life right now, and I never ever want to criticize anyone for going through that kind of stuff. Everyone's got their business, and but from a football point of view, the Bucks have struggled just as much as the Rams have. So this is two struggling NFL teams that are both trying to salvage their season, right? So could make for a good game. I don't know if Sean McVay has too much respect for the Niners since his grandpa is a Niner fixture. I like again, like whenever Sean McVay has talked about his grandpa, it's always in high regard, and yeah, he's Sean McVay is a very humble coach in nature, and like I appreciate how he's quick to honor other coaches. And yeah, so that's something I really like about Sean McVay as a head coach. Yo, hey, first off, hey SM, good to see you. Said, yo, Bale, did you see the news about McVay retiring when the core is gone? Yeah, I saw it, but SM, I think I'm of the mindset of like if that happens, it happens. But until like so much can change, right? Like for all we know, like as the core of Ramsey, Cup, Donald, and Stafford, get older, maybe new kind of core players come in and build those relationships. I I won't put it past McVay to retire at a younger age. I'm at terms with that. I'll be so sad when he does retire, but I don't think that it's one of those things that we have to constantly live in fear of Sean McVay retiring. I think that like it'll be when it happens, it'll be when Sean McVay decides to happen. And I feel like until it happens, we're gonna get so many articles because they get clicks from Ram fans like us. And so until I hear Sean McVay actually say he's retiring, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna dwell on it too much. Oh, Lincoln Riley. I don't know. I am not a huge fan of college coach hiring from college uh, up to the NFL personally. Clearly, he's done well at the college level, Lincoln Riley. But yeah, I'm always of the mindset of try and find your talent in the NFL. Just for the like, there's so much difference from being a college coach to an NFL coach that you have to worry about, and and I'm not even talking about like Urban Meyer with the Jags last year. Just there's other situations like Matt Rule is a good example as well. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We were just talking about that. Yeah. Oh, I misspell all the time. Don't worry. Yeah. Rams record 3-4 remaining schedule. Call it. Oh, okay. So Grandizer is saying that we're going to lose to Tampa, win against Arizona, win against New Orleans, lose to KC, win against Seattle, win to Vegas, loss to Green Bay, win versus Denver, win versus Chargers, loss to Seattle, 9-8. I'm, okay, interesting. I do think we're going to beat Tampa. I'm actually, okay, I'm low-key more worried about the New Orleans game than the Tampa game personally, just because we're on the road. And like if New Orleans gets healthier, that defense can be trouble and the Rams could struggle to score in New Orleans. So I would probably swap that. So I'd go win Tampa, win Arizona, lost New Orleans. I really wish we could beat KC. I just don't know if we're that team this year. I hope so. I hope so. I can't wait for that game because that Monday night game was one of my favorite football games ever. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, I don't know. I like maybe 9-8. I could see us still being a 10-win team. I hope so. I hope so. I'm still cheering for playoffs, right? Bucks game will be tough. It's a revenge game for them. The divisional round is still fresh on their minds. Yeah. Akers excuses he does not like the run plays that McVay wants him to run. Bottom line is, unless Akers gets a big hole to run through, he often gets stuffed. I hope if he does play that we keep going. We keep going. we won't be the 32nd ranked run game anymore. I would love to see Sean show off even more without those players. Look at what he did with Ben Scott. Yeah, again, yeah, love. We have a talented roster, and it's a valid criticism that they haven't fully been utilized. Yep. Yeah. And again, yeah, never feel obligated to stay boy and his dad. I appreciate you being here, but yeah, no, I understand people got lives. See, I could see that too, Peo. Beat the Bucks, but lose to who? Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping we win them all, obviously. I'll be glad if we're 10-7 and still winning the division. That'd be cool. Yeah, Casey is so another level right now. Yeah, they're a fun team to watch. Well, you are Super Bowl champs. You have to try and reach the playoffs, which is so hard to do. Yeah. And again, I'll never let anyone, like, even as the Niners fan who was in here earlier, like let them trash talk or whatever. No one can take the Super Bowl away. It's awesome. Yeah. Let's see here. Those are my topics. Yeah. I'll give some thoughts on the Rams Bucks game. I've just decided I'm not doing a full on Rams game preview anymore. Just because I think other people in the Rams community do it really well. I think Rams Showcase, Rams Superfan, Jake Allen Logan all do a way better game preview than I do. But I'll tell you a couple of thoughts on this game. And I'm not going to clip this part out, but I'd love to hear from you guys. How are you feeling about this game? Both teams coming off tough losses. You wonder if this is sort of a make or break game for either team in the season. And, if Brady loses, like, what's the fallout of that, right? Right now with the Falcons leading that division, and then you have the Rams, who are currently in third place in the NFC West right now. So I'm hoping, like, I guess if we look at the NFL schedule here, NFL Week 9 schedule, the Rams like perfect Week 9 week. Let me just see here. Okay, so the Rams perfect. I'll get to your question though. I just want to finish this here. The Rams let's do this. Okay. The Rams perfect Week 9 week is we want the Lions to beat the Packers. We would like the Chargers to beat the Falcons in case they ever somehow get in the wild card conversation. We would like the Commanders to beat the Vikings. No, we would like the Vikings to beat the Commanders. Yeah, because the Commanders are ahead of us in the wild card right now. The Vikings are kind of running away with their division. So we would like the Vikings to beat the Commanders. Go Kevin O'Connell. We want the Bengals to beat the Panthers. We don't really care about Raiders and Jags. The Dolphins, we would like them to beat the Bears just to keep the Bears below us. We would like the Cardinals Seahawks game. We don't want either of those teams. We'd like that to be a tie, but I guess we'd like the Cardinals to beat the Seahawks, pull that upset, and that would still give us a shot at the division. Well, obviously, we want the Rams to beat the Bucks, and then the other game involving an NFC opponent would be we want the Ravens to beat the Saints on Monday Night Football. So that's kind of what the perfect Week 9 week looks like for the Rams. Ultimately, we're probably not going to get all of those things, but as long as the Rams beat the Bucks, that's what's most important. All right, let me get back to your comments here. Let's see. Truth be told, after Jake Funk was cut, this team has gone south. Well, it was starting to go south with him, but yeah, I do wish we would have kept Funk. And nothing against Ronnie Rivers, but I just felt Funk had a better grasp of our system, of the scheme, and so yeah, I was disappointed to see Jake Funk get cut for sure. I wish him nothing but the best. Carney, not football related, but Canada related, because I'm a Rush fan. I'm a Maple Leafs fan by proximity. Okay. Are you a fan of either? Sorry, chat horns. Yeah, no worries. I, I, okay. First off, I'll start with the Toronto Rush. Yeah, I don't follow them a lot, but like because I live close to it, and it's there. I was raised in more of an Ottawa Senators fan. I in my hockey fandom, I love the sport of hockey, but I am of the mindset now where I just want a Canadian team to win the cup. I can appreciate the Maple Leafs for what they are. However, I wouldn't say I'm a diehard Leafs fan. I cheer on the Ottawa Senators. I cheer on, even though they've been a tough team to cheer for a lot of different reasons. I have a soft spot for the Winnipeg Jets. But yeah, I want the Stanley Cup back on Canadian soil. that's my hope. Feels like the Rams have been on autopilot. It's time to step up or step out. Yeah, we gotta keep it going. Keep it going. The Buccaneers running game also suffered by their battered. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Buccaneers are the second worst running team in the NFL. So might be some struggles for sure. Oh, I'm a huge Raptors fan. Yes, I love the Toronto Raptors. I love going to their games. The 2019 championship I will treasure for the rest of my life. I could ramble on and on about that just epic series and just what it was like to be a Toronto Raptors fan during that time. The Rams at least don't have to face the 49ers any longer this regular season. I so hope the Rams beat the Packers at Greenbow. It's long overdue, but that's no. Yeah, and again, like I love snow football. Whenever I hear people complain about snow football, I'm like, no, like snow football is the best. Because it honestly is like the equalizer, right? Where your really fast players can't run as fast in the snow. Like injury often is less in the snow because of like the padding. No, I'm talking like thick snow, things like that. But yeah, as someone who grew up like playing football in Canada and like I love snow football, mud football, love them both. But I would take snow football over any kind of football. I love it. So we'll see. We'll see. I hope they beat them in Lambeau. Don't worry with the lineup the Packers have this season. The Rams have a shot to finally beat them. But yeah, I think there's a chance for sure. Hey, No Border Sports, thanks for coming on in. Saying smash that like button. Appreciate that. Thank you. Our resident Chiefs fan, I like dogs, who had his team on bye this week. He's saying, I have to wait until Sunday night to watch the Chiefs play. I hate Sunday night games because we have wait until literally the end of the week. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Yeah, no, good luck to your Chiefs in that game, and that's a good football team you got there. You should be excited. I like dogs. I'm curious to see Tony with the Chiefs. Beo, non-football related. Guess whose birthday it was on October 31st? John Candy. Really? We were talking about him on the Sunday show. That is cool. Yeah, we were talking about him on the Sunday show. That shout out, rest in peace, John Candy. That's amazing. Go Avalanche. Yeah. Oh, the Avs. That's cool. Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip. Oh, this is a quote. Yeah, Burton Mercy, Johnny. Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip, orange whip, 3 orange whips. Built like a polar bear. So yeah, I honestly I love. I mean it. Like playing football in the snow is probably one of the most fun activities yet. You're an LA Kings fan. Yeah, I definitely like. I'm. Yeah, I have a soft spot for the Kings, but also the Tampa Bay Lightning, just because I know people who know Steven Stamkos and like went to high school with him, and so yeah, I have mad respect for any like hockey player who can just step on the ice and be the best player at any given moment. And yeah. Oh, SM, I am pumped for the World Cup because Canada's in it for the first time. I'm trying to arrange my work schedule so that I'll be able to do some reaction to Team Canada. Because, yes, I am so pumped for the World Cup. So pumped. We are spoiled as sports fans. There's so much going on right now. I do think they can make the playoffs. I do. Yeah. I think they have a real shot. Um, you know, with the way the Bucks have been playing, and really, it's. I think if a team goes on a 4 or 5 game win streak in that division, they have a chance of locking up that division. Like especially if the Falcons do it right. Has the Rams played a snow game? I don't remember the last time they did. They've played in cold games. I can't remember I've ever seen them in like a true like ice bowl or like snow brawl. But yeah, they've played in colder games for sure. Oh, thank you, boys, that for that. Yeah. Oh, you guys are awesome. You're awesome. I'll say this, everyone. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in to Rams Wednesday. As always, I do clip out segments of it that we'll release in a couple hours apart from each other, just because I find that's a good way to grow my channel. October was the most watched, month I've ever had in this whole YouTube journey. So thank you, everyone who clicked on my videos or whoever smashed the like button or shared out a video. It honestly is a very humbling experience doing this YouTube thing and building a community and people actually liking your content. So I appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. And I fully know on the other side of this camera that each and every one of you has highs and lows, struggles and success. You have a story. And I can never thank you enough for hitting that subscribe button. And I'm looking forward to continuing to be a minor character if you keep on clicking on these videos. It could be a wacky playoff race. Seattle, Falcons, Panthers, Giants, Vikes in control of their divisions, and Rams trying to defend. Yeah, and you know what? I think that's, as football fans, that's going to be fun to watch. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go, Rams. Let's go. Get pumped. Horns up. Yeah. Whose house? It's a legit question, and Carney knows the answer. Rams house, or AKA Champs house. Yeah. Let's go. I love watching the snow games. I remember watching the Chiefs play the Broncos in the snow 20. Because either at Mile High or at Arrowhead, you can see snow games. It's so fun. But yeah. Well, everyone, that is going. I am going to end off the show there. But again, appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for tuning in. I won't, besides my clips, and if something breaking news happens, I'll post a vlog or something like that. Otherwise, the next content you can expect from me will probably be on Sunday with the watch party, and I'm hopefully going to be home for it. If not, I'll do it from a hotel room, but I'm hoping to be home for the watch party. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it, Michael. Absolutely. Carney saying, I now see the new Rams horn on a helmet as a C for captain. That's cool. Thank you, No Border Sports. Thank you, everyone. Oh, man. Grandizer saying, I so wish that it snowed like crazy at Green Bay with the Rams. I would love. They could play in the snow. I just realized the Rams could play in the snow. Oh, I would love it. Okay, if the Rams are playing in the snow, I'm gonna make a video that's like tips for playing football in the snow. Oh man, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll do a watch party Sonic Boom for the Rams Buccaneers. Yep, absolutely. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, Michael, Boy and his dad, and Grandizer for modding. You guys are the real champs. And as always, go Rams, horns up, peace out. Let's go Rams. Woo! Oh, sorry, my neighbors. Woohoo! Peace out, everybody.